Jodi Arias' lawyers want a judge to take the death penalty off the table in her sentencing retrial. It's a case that began more than 6 years ago, when in June of 2008, Arias' ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander, was found dead. 1 month later, Arias was indicted on first-degree murder charges. Then about 5 years after that, a jury found her guilty. But the jurors could not agree on a sentence, with the judge declaring a mistrial in the sentencing phase. Now, in a sentencing retrial, a new jury will decide whether she lives or dies. Let's talk about it now with former prosecutor Doug Burns and Fox News legal analyst Lise Wheel. So her attorneys say that there are several witnesses who would testify what a great person she is, apparently, but they won't testify in open court. Therefore, her attorneys are saying she cannot get a fair sentencing retrial.
It's a transparent ploy by the defense attorneys to try to put this out there. Many of these people have already testified, which means the Sixth Amendment clause in the Constitution has already been met. She's had the right to confront these accusers before. Now they just want to say, oh, now they've gotten the sentencing stage, they won't testify. Boo-hoo, take the death penalty off the table. It's not going to work with any judge.
What about it, Doug?
No, I mean, I agree. I've actually had this a couple times in court. Witness comes in, Your Honor, I refuse to testify. The point is the judge has the power, A, to direct them to testify, and in my case, the guy insisted, I'm not testifying. The judge held him in contempt of court and put him in jail. So the point is the courts have a lot of power. If they want to refuse to that level, they would face, short-term imprisonment. They have the keys to their own jailhouse cell when they comply. And
you don't blame the defense lawyers. I mean, they try to do anything to keep the death penalty off the table with her. This is one thing they can do, but it's not going to work.
But also, sorry to interrupt, it would be very interesting. I mean, they're saying, take the death penalty off the table because these people won't testify. Wouldn't it be interesting? And I am not suggesting this if the lawyer was somehow involved with that decision by his witnesses.
Goodness, Doug, I can't believe you.
A lawyer saying, hey, maybe you don't want to testify? An officer of the court would do such a thing?
I just cannot be in this company and hear this kind of talk. Right. It would never happen that a lawyer would do that.
I do wonder about the constant moving of the goalposts by the attorneys and Jodi Arias herself. Does anybody remember this comment?
Oh, yeah, right.
I said years ago that I'd rather get death than life, and that still is true today. I believe death is the ultimate freedom, so I'd rather just have my freedom as soon as I can get it.
So you're saying you actually prefer getting the death penalty to being in prison for life?
Yes.
That's before she decided, though, that she would sell her hair. And she would grow her hair, and that would be actually better for people if she were alive.
Well, that was more than 3 years ago. She was telling our Fox affiliate that she wanted the death penalty.
Right.
Now,
I said before, give her what she wants, John.
Well, she changed her mind. She did recant that statement. But now her attorneys predicted that if this retrial was televised, if live testimony was allowed, that witnesses would refuse to testify. So guess what? The judge caved, said, okay, no live court feed, nothing until after the verdict.
Right.
They keep moving the goalposts, exactly as you said,
Judges doing
John.
everything appropriate. But on the other side of this, for the defense, if the prosecution loses this one more time, that's it.
You're predicting that...
I think you're going to have another deadlock, because I just think that, again, Lise looks at me like I'm crazy when I say this, but it's really not a death penalty case, in my opinion.
I think it is.
All right. We will see what happens. And after the verdict comes in, assuming they're not deadlocked, we'll be able to play some of the highlights of the court testimony. All right. Doug Burns, Lise Wheel, thank you both.
My pleasure.